Hello and welcome to the GP with A and B D time. Obviously, once again, Aiden is not with me. It's been a very hectic week. We had the opportunity last night to go and watch The Forge, and if you've not heard about that movie, I would encourage you to look it up. It is a very good movie. It's from the Kendrick brothers, the ones that did movies like The War Room, talking about prayer. This movie is about discipleship, specifically men discipling other men, and I would encourage you to go see it. But Aiden and I got in late last night, and he is at school right at the moment, so I'm doing today's devotion, and I just wanted to connect with you. We are on day 4 of this week's devotions, and today's reading comes from Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 and 25. It's a passage oftentimes that we use to try to relay to people the importance of coming to church, but it goes beyond that. We are also have been talking about God's creation of Adam and Eve, how he created man, and that we are his crowning jewel, and the desire that we have for a relationship with others. That's why Eve was created, so that Adam and Eve could have companionship. A lot of times we look at that model as one of marriage, but it also talks about companionship and how God desires to have a relationship with us and how he has created us to have relationships with each other. Today's passage, like I said, comes from Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 and 25. It says, "And let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together, as it is habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day draw near." We are created to stir one another up. We are created to love one another. Yesterday, we talked about the great commandments, that we are to love God with all that we are, and then we are to love others as we have loved ourselves. And the second portion of that is our need, how God created us to connect with other human beings. It's so easy in today's world. I've been guilty of it often, to sit in front of the TV and stream shows, binge watch shows. I know other people who get so tied up into social media and scrolling through those things. A lot of times we get involved with the video games, and we seclude ourselves, and we get wrapped up in all of that, and we forget that we need those connections. I see, like Aiden, he's not here today, but I see how his attitude changes when we allow him too much screen time. The more he's on it, the meaner he gets. So we try to get him disconnected. But in reality, we all do the same thing. When we get so wrapped up in ourselves and focusing in on our desires, our personal wants, and seclusion, we forget why we were created, and we lose touch with that kindness and gentleness that we should have for one another. I had a friend of mine tell me one time the worst 2 inventions. He said the worst invention was the air conditioning. As soon as we got air conditioning, we went inside, closed the doors, and we no longer sat on the front porch. But I include also in that this idea of technology, whether it's TVs or video games, whatever the case may be. Not only are we isolated from the outside, our neighbors, but we even isolate ourselves from our families. We get in our own rooms, in our own little worlds, and we disconnect. In reality, God wants us to connect with one another, connect with him, and walk in those relationships. So what are some of the times that you struggle with being isolated? What do you need to do to be able to rid yourself of those things and get outside, connect with one another? As this passage says, stir one another up, not neglecting the coming together of God's people. How can you invest and pour yourself out into others and not be so selfish? It's a hard question. It's one that I struggle with on a daily basis. I truly hope that this passage, today's devotion, will stir within you the desire to go out and to help and to love others as you've loved yourself. I'll close with this thought. I had my youth director always said that if you want true joy, go by the acronym of JOY. Jesus first, others second, yourself last. And then I always tease, we might as well just make it Joe. Jesus first, others second, the end. I hope you all have a blessed day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.